Well, hello everyone. This is Comics Baker TV here. So today, I'd like to tell you guys my thoughts about the Kansas City Chiefs 2024 season. As of course, you probably know by now, uh, we lost in a game that was not close in the Super Bowl to the Philadelphia Eagles, losing 40-22 as our quest for a three-peat to become the first team ever to win three straight Super Bowls came up short, uh, as the Eagles just dominated that game really from start to finish. Uh, Even though, ironically, Mahomes had more passing yards than Jalen Hurts, uh, it felt like the Eagles had the ball for the entire first half. They're up 24 to nothing at halftime. They were We almost didn't even score any points until the fourth quarter. Our first points were at the very end of the third quarter. And yeah, Mahomes was under pressure a lot. Sacked six times. And yeah, so it was definitely a shocker to see us lose like that, and sad to see our season end that way. But it was still an outstanding season. Going 15-2, really kind of 15-1, 15-2 with an asterisk, I'd say, because our only other loss besides the game in Week 11 against the Bills was in Week 18 against the Broncos, in which that game was meaningless because we had already clinched the one seed. So we had nothing to play for. We were resting pretty much all of our starters, and we got shut out in that one, ironically. But yeah, it didn't matter. So not really counting that as a legit loss, but yeah, it was an outstanding regular season, and to win back to back is pretty amazing still. Winning back to back championships is hard enough, and we were looking to go for three straight, and we nearly did it. And in the regular season we had so many one score games, so many games that came down to the final play. I feel like all of our games came down to the final play. Uh, Start out the game in week 1 against the Ravens, in which Ravens initially had a touchdown with no time remaining, but the receiver's foot was out of bounds, or his toes were out of bounds. There was no time remaining. The Ravens initially were going to go for 2 in the win. So, and then in week 2, just a week later, we won on a walk-off field goal on a controversial PI. And yeah, we had I think 4 game-winning field goals, including 3 field goals by 3 different kickers. Of course, Harrison Butker missed about a month with a knee injury, but we still had game-winning kicks by our 2 different kickers, which is pretty incredible. And yeah, we had our struggles, offensively, especially in the red zone all season long, but it was, our defense that stepped up at the right time. And yes, we got a bit of lucky plays and controversial plays, but it is what it is. So definitely proud of this team. 15-2 regular season, and then in the postseason wins against the Texans and Bills, the championship game against Buffalo. It was a back and forth game, like I think everyone expected. Josh Allen and the Bills played their hardest, but they still came up short. And the Bills still have not made a Super Bowl in 30 years, over 30 years. So, and yeah, I knew the Super Bowl was going to be tough, facing an Eagles team that put up 55 points in the conference title game against the Washington Commanders, which what a story they were. Washington Commanders, led by a rookie quarterback, Jayden Daniels, won Offensive Rookie of the Year, and I don't think many people had Washington making the playoffs this year. I thought that they would be better, but I thought that they would only have maybe 6 or 7 wins, but they proved everyone wrong. They finished with 11 wins and shocked the 1 seed Detroit Lions, and then for them to make it to the NFC Championship game was definitely a huge success. So, but yeah, and the Eagles, of course, led by Saquon Barkley. Our defense in the Super Bowl did solid. I mean, we held Barkley to only 57 yards rushing. Jalen Hurts led the Eagles with 72 yards rushing. So, that was solid. But, just couldn't do anything offensively. The second half we played solid. I mean, there were a couple of plays where, especially with play with DeAndre Hopkins, he was wide open. If he would have caught that ball, he potentially could have gone all the way to the end zone for a touchdown. It could have been potentially a game-changing play. So, but yeah, so definitely, really, really wanted the three-peat, which I'm sure most Chiefs fans wanted. But back-to-back is still pretty awesome. So, but yeah, so the Eagles, and they also wanted revenge from us after we beat them 2 years ago, and yeah, they got their revenge. So, and now we'll see if Travis Kelce decides to retire or to continue playing. It's rumored that he may retire, but he said after the Super Bowl that he's going to take time to think about his future. So, but yeah, so I'd like to see him play, at least one more year, but, he's getting up there in age, and even if he does retire, I mean, he's going to be a future Hall of Famer, no doubt. So, but yeah, and we have a number of key free agents, including linebacker Nick Bolton, I believe Justin Reed, and guard Trey Smith are all free agents coming up. So, as well as Kareem Hunt, I think, as well. So, and DeAndre Hopkins, who I've heard Hopkins will return next year, for at least one more year. So, and yeah, so, hope for the same next year. Schedule. We know our opponents for next season, but we don't know when we will be playing them. One game I'm looking forward to is facing Jayden Daniels and the Commanders at Arrowhead. We'll face the Eagles again, so we'll have a rematch with them at Arrowhead at some point next season. We'll also play at the Dallas Cowboys. We'll also host the defending reigning 1 seed Detroit Lions at home, so we have a lot of tough games against a number of playoff teams. We also will play the AFC South, so interesting to see, who we open up against and stuff. That'll be announced. Full schedule will be announced in the spring, I believe in April or May. So yeah, so what you guys think about the Chiefs losing in the Super Bowl? Definitely a bit of a shocker. The score, wasn't terribly surprised that we lost, but I was really, really surprised that, that's what the score ended up being. So, anyway, till next season, 2025 season. So, till then, I guess, Colin Express saying, go Chiefs.